load. Some kind of load of boxes. These go with the first load. Picked them up in Paden, Mississippi, going to Martinsville, Pennsylvania. I just loaded this in Madison, Alabama. It's going to Charleston, West Virginia. And I still got room. I can move this excavator way back or way forward. It's only 5,000 pounds. So let's get on the road and find something to eat. Y'all have a good day. See ya in West Virginia. How's it going, YouTube? It's Jonathan here, HOTSHOT in America. Today is Thursday, April the 1st, and thank you for watching this video, subscribing to this video. The lighting kind of bad here, but I hope that the lighting's better for you. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and go in the comment section and tell me that you did so, and put the number of subscribers that you are, please, and like this video. So right now I am in Kentucky. Just went through Lexington, Kentucky. I picked up a load in Mississippi, 2 pallets that I tarped. You'll see the loads here in just a little bit. And I picked up a Kubota mini excavator in Madison, Alabama, going to Charleston, West Virginia. The pallets are going to Martinsburg, Pennsylvania. And I picked up a Bobcat skid steer that's going to Plainfield, Pennsylvania. And so one of the loads, the pallets paid $1,550. The Bobcat paid $950, and the Kubota paid $1,100. So I'll show you the rate contracts, and right now here's the loads. Good morning, YouTube. HOTSHOT in America, Jonathan here. I am in West Virginia, about 3 hours away from my first drop-off. You just seen the load the 3 loads I got on here. The first one at the very first front of the trailer, the tarped load, is the $2 a mile load. So that has priority over those other 2, which are $1 a mile, or over about $1.19, $1.25 a mile. One of them, I think I just told you right before this, but well, the one that's tarped is $2 a mile, or right under $2 a mile. It's like $1,550 bucks. One of them is $950. The little Bobcat, $950. The Kubota is like $1,100. So, and it was going. The Kubota went like 670 miles, so I guess it was a little, almost $2 a mile. So anyway, this one had priority over all of them because they was it just did that, because I told the broker my word. I gave him a word that I'd be there prior to, before Monday. I'd have it for the week's over with. And so I loaded this load Wednesday in Mississippi. And so the broker paid the rate that I would have been okay with for it to be dedicated, but he didn't say nothing about it being dedicated. He just, and even on the load board, it had partial or LTL out in the category. So it being only 11 feet long and 1,500 pounds, well, you got to put something with it. I mean, even if you got to be slick about it. So I found the Kubota mini excavator, which is 6,000 pounds, in Madison, Alabama, to go with it. Like I said, it paid $1,100 bucks. So before I booked the excavator, I was talking to Landstar. They had a load out of Nashville, Tennessee, Bobcat dealership, going to an individual up right up 80 miles from where I'm coming to with a tarp load. And these roads are horrible. So the Kubota went to Charleston, West Virginia. Well, it's going. It hasn't went yet, but it's 5 hours from Charleston to where I'm going with the tarp load, the priority load, and I just didn't want to. With it being Good Friday, they may close early, and anyhow, I just didn't want to push it. So I'm going to go drop these two loads that go to PA. They're 80 miles apart, and one of them's an individual. As long as it's not late at night, he said he's good with it. And so I'm going to drop those off, and I'm going to check the load board. If there's a load going back down south out of Pennsylvania where I'm at, then I'm going to hang around here until Monday and try to pick it up if I can't pick it up this weekend. If there's not, I'm coming back to Charleston for the weekend and going to wait on Monday to come around to unload this Kubota. So it's I don't know. I had to go through Charleston last night to get here, and that was my plan. But it put me behind because the Landstar guy, I was talking to him, and he couldn't get the rate. He had I wanted $1,200 for the Bobcat, and the broker agreed to it, but the customer didn't. So we couldn't agree on a rate. And after he told me that, I found the Kubota after I picked up the tarp load, the priority load. So I got the Kubota loaded. He calls me back and says, "Look, the customer has decided that he will do this much," which I got him up a little bit. I got him up from where he originally was, which were, 900, and I got to 950. So because I got the Kubota, I was okay with the $950 because it's, at this point, that's just whatever money, that's pure profit right there. I mean, so I got a $1.87 a mile load on here, and I got a $1.70 something mile load on here, and then I got the $1.20 something mile load. And two of the loads are 80 miles apart. So I mean, that's a decent little trip here. I filled the trailer up, obviously, as you've seen. So it worked out perfect. I mean, very, very perfect. And today, for us Christians, is Good Friday. And if you're a Christian, then you know what Good Friday is. It's the day that the one true living God, Jesus Christ, was crucified for our sins, died on the cross for everyone's sins, not just us Christians. He died for everyone, but some people just don't know it yet. So today's Friday, but Sunday's coming. You know what happens when Sunday comes around, don't you? But I just had to throw that in there. The last video I put up was the thumbnail was a DOT officer, and anyway, I got caught running scales down in Kentucky. And a little backstory: I came out of Evansville, Indiana. I had an appointment down in Calhoun, Kentucky, and when you come in through Kentucky out of Evansville, it's 2-lane highway. Well, until you get into Kentucky, then it opens up after you cross the bridge. It opens up to 4 lane, and then immediately there's a scale house right there. So anyway, so there's I seen it open. I mean, I went around it, foolishly went around it and didn't stop. Well, about 2 miles, there was so much traffic on the road, it took the guy a long time to catch up with me, but he pulled me back to the, he said, let me see your driver's license. Got my driver's license. Pulled me back, I guess I would run like I'm going to outrun him with a load of that big load of pipe I had, I guess, whatever. So I went back to the scale house and was showing him my binder, and his demeanor is like he went from being a DOT officer to being a prick just with the snap of a finger. I mean, it took him no time to become a prick. I guess he's got that gift. But the reason why is because now I don't know this, but I'm going to assume he saw this bottle, which is extra virgin olive oil. I take a shot of that every day, every morning, with a pinch of Himalayan pink salt. It goes with that, and it's very good when it's mixed together. It's good for your cholesterol, blood pressure. It's good for your body. It's good for your stomach, your bowels. It's good for you. It's good for it's good for you. So it looks like a whiskey bottle. I'm guessing that's why he flipped the switch to prick. I don't know, but he said, "I'm going to give you one chance. There ain't gonna be no deals." And I'm thinking, look, man, I didn't see I wasn't paying attention to the scale. That's what I said. I wasn't paying attention to the. I was daydreaming, staring at the car in front of me, and he said, "No, hush. I'm going to give you one chance to tell me if there's any drugs or alcohol in this truck." And I'm like, "Well, where did that come from?" And I'm like, "Okay." I said, "There's no drugs or alcohol in the truck." He said, "I'm going to ask you again." He said, "There ain't going to be no deals." I said, "Okay, but there's no drugs or alcohol in the truck." So they grabbed my arms, put my hands behind my back, searched me, and he said, "Can I search your truck?" Well, in my mind, I'm thinking, if I tell him no, he's fixing to lay the hammer down on this fine for running this scale house, and probably 9 other things if he wanted to find them. So I said yes, knowing there's nothing in here except my blood pressure, but medicine that I prescribed to me. And so I guess he put me in the back of his his SUV thing, and he had his buddy sitting there with me, and he went straight for the bottle. I seen him look at it, and he just kind of set it down, and then he went through my hygiene bag where my medicine bottle was, went through it, and I got a little compartment thing over here that I keep stuff in, and it is full of stuff too. I imagine he went through that too, because stuff was strode everywhere. But oh, you couldn't see that. Here, there it is. Maybe. So he puts me in the back of his truck, and he went through it. He didn't search thorough. I'm guessing he went for the bottle, and he searched my bag, and then he's like, "Well, this guy's okay," And I had my Bible out, and I had some tracts, some gospel, some Jesus Christ tracts, pamphlets that I put out on truck stop cabinets, and sometimes I put them on if I got some tape, I'll tape them on the diesel pump or something. But I guess he may have seen, I don't know if he's seen that and thought, well, you know, this, I don't know, but he didn't search the whole truck. I know that. So, and he came and did after he searched, he did a level 1 inspection, and I passed. It started raining, pouring down raining right as he was doing the blinkers and windshield wipers up here. So he ran to the back, did the back. So he didn't really check much else. He didn't check brakes or nothing. They're good though. You got to check those O-rings, people. If you're having trouble, if you got hydraulic brakes, drivers, and you're having your brake lines are busting on you every other day, every other week, look, you got O-rings inside your caliper that keeps that stud that mounts the caliper to the yoke, to the caliper yoke assembly onto the rotor, above the rotor. Those shoulder bolts have got to be tight. So if you can wiggle your caliper and it rattles a whole lot, your O-rings, there's 4 O-rings per bolt. The salt and weather and whatnot gets in there and corrodes it, and it loosens the bolt up, and the bolt will rattle, and over time it wallers out the hole. And if you let it go long enough, it'll. I've had it waller out the hole all the way. Caliper fell on the rotor while I'm going down the highway. I guess I'm throwing sparks, and nobody ever said nothing because I had to find it myself. So I don't even know how long it did that. But if you're having your hydraulic brake line has got an elbow, 90-degree elbow in it. Matter of fact, here's what if you got a trailer and your brake line looks like this right here. Then that 90-degree angle, it goes 90 degrees. You just seen it, and it screws on with a flange. Well, it's going to break right there around the flange or the 90 degree every time. And there's nothing that you're not doing or doing. It's those rubber washers that it's allowing that caliper to rattle, and it's breaking that brake line. So take it apart. It's a pain in the butt to do, but or take it to your trailer dealership and pay them to do it. They'll do it quick, and it'll cost you, but I promise you it's going to be less than having to fix. Because if one of them's bad, then all of them is bad. It's just they're not going to be as bad as the others. Is going to be worse. All 4 of them is going to be to some extent bad and damaged. You're going to have to replace every part: caliper, yoke assembly, pads, shoulder bolts, and all you needed to replace was the washers. And it's worth checking. I'm telling you, because that's $4,000 or $5,000 worth of parts easy. I got the bill. I got the receipts to prove it because it happened to me last summer. And it happened. I bought the trailer in February of 2018. Last summer, 2020, June the 11th to be exact, is when it happened in 2020. So that's how long it took for a catastrophic failure. I don't know. My brake line had been breaking for over 6 months, and I thought I had my gain turned up too high. I thought it was jerking. I tried everything. I thought I had the wrong fluid. I did not know what to do. And the people I bought the trailer from did not tell me about this. Now, the people I bought, that was my air ride low trail. Now, the people I bought this PJ down at Houston at the Nationwide dealership. And they told me about it. They told me to bring it in every 6 months to get those. I was like, yeah, believe me, I know that now. So they didn't tell me about it, so I didn't know about it. So spread that, because it's a simple fix, a cheap fix. Those washers are only 35 cents a piece. You know, last summer that's what they were, with shipping, I think. So I mean, it's so cheap, you know, especially if you do it yourself, to fix. It's just very meticulous. It's detailed. It's just a pain in the butt. So between you know, lessons learned like that, and I got if you'll remember a couple videos back, you'll see my truck. It says the best worst load ever, and it's because the load paid $5,400 on 1,100 miles. Oh, 1,400 miles, excuse me, and paid $5,400. But wheel bearing went completely out in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and I had never had a wheel bearing go out in a Ram before, so I didn't know what it sounded like. And it sounds like you got power steering whine. It sounds like, you know, that whine and when you turn your wheels. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like something's wrong with your power steering, and so it's kind of easy to get used to too, I guess. If it sounds like some mud tires, you know. So I noticed it, but I didn't. Your mind gets used to little noises, little constant noises like that. You know what I mean? It's just part of the drive at that point. So until it went all the way out, boy, did I know it then. So it's easier to go in and change those bearings. The bearing comes in a kit. Look, it's so easy. Take your tire, your wheel off, your caliper, your brake caliper, and after you take the brake caliper off, it's a piece of something that bolts on to your hub, and that's the bearing kit. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. It ain't like a little bearing you'd put in your trailer tire. It's a dry bearing, and it just fits right there. And so when that went out, my wheel cocked like that for a little bit, and it ruined. My axle fell when the wheel cocked inside the axle housing. There's a collar. There's a metal collar that the inner axle shaft is. It don't. If your bearings are good, it's not going to touch nothing. It's just going to be. It's big enough to where the axle goes through it without touching it, just freely spinning. The seal is on the other side of that collar, and then there's a sleeve that pushes the seal tightly up against where it goes, that way up in there. The seal is way back up. It's maybe a good arm's length back on the axle shaft. You don't see your seal when you replace your bearing, and I didn't know that I overheated the seal, or the mechanic that did the work for me in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He don't work on these kind of trucks, he said, but he did it for me at a decent price. And so the axle fell on the collar, which is metal on metal, and it's got grooves in it. So the seal was leaking oil bad by the time I got back to Arkansas. So I bought a seal, and it took the axle shaft out to change the seal, and there was grooves in the axle shaft itself, and the collar was bent where the axle had been riding on it, and so the seal won't seal completely even right now because of those little cuts in the axle. But I found one that come out of a burn 2015 5500. It's in Pennsylvania. I mean, it's in Minnesota though, for $325. Now I can get one from Summit Racing for like $600 plus shipping. So I don't know what it would end up being, but I'm going to get a use. I'm going to go. There's a app called car-part.com. That app is connected to salvage yards in all 48 the upper 40, in all the states of America, the upper 48, lower 48, or however you want to say it. So you type in the year models of your truck, you type the part that you're searching, and you type whether you want it. It's interchangeable. It says, is this non-interchangeable or interchangeable, which means can a 3500 part fit on a 5500 part, or do you just want to search for the 5500 part? So all of the salvage yards that are connected to that, it will search for that part, the closest first, and all the way down. So Minnesota is the closest one that I know they got because I've talked to them, and I just haven't had time to call anymore. Now there's some that weren't. I'm kind of sketchy about the burn because I'm not sure about the knuckle. I don't really know that much about them to know if it's would a burned vehicle hurt the inner axle shaft. I mean, does anybody know that? If it does, will you let me know that before I buy it, please? I would appreciate it. So I'm sorry for ranting, but anyway, it's been a long few weeks to be quite honest, and that's part of the job. This is I mean, it's just part of it. I mean, if you don't have problems, then I mean, something ain't right. You know what I mean? If you don't, either you got a brand new truck or you just started out. But it's coming, trust me. Make sure for all you non-CDL HOTSHOT people, be sure you check those trailer lug nuts. They come loose very easy, and you'll lose a tire going down the road. I've seen it happen. So I don't know why it does it on the single axle more so than it does the dual tandems, but it does. I started out with those, and I've had to physically tighten them often. But anyway, I will see you all this weekend sometime. Maybe I'll see you when we unload. I'll talk to you then. But until then, keep the shiny side up, and please like and subscribe to this video. I mean, to my channel, and like the video, comment. I got 20-something subscribers, which is I'm happy with, but I know we can get it to 1,000. Please help me. So once we do, I'm going to give, if we can get to 500, I'm going to give away either a Garmin or a headset or something to the 500th subscriber. So anyway, you all have a blessed Good Friday. Remember why they call it Good Friday. Drivers, be safe, and have a wonderful day. Everybody else who's not drivers, have a wonderful day, and be safe also. God bless you.